My name is Ryan Yip, and I want to tell you why I want to make this documentary on Dr. Margaret Chung. A few years ago, I was doing research on the history of my grandfather, who graduated from USC Law School in 1915. And one of the people I contacted sent me a newspaper article about Dr. Margaret Chung, and it was just fascinating to me because she was the first Chinese female graduate from USC in medicine. So she was basically like the Sally Ride and Jackie Robinson of the medical profession. She overcame quite a bit, and that was not her only accomplishment. She did quite a bit more for her country in World War II, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Dr. Chung came from a very impoverished background, a daughter of immigrants, the eldest of 11 children, and she had a pivotal moment in her life when she, as a young child, saw this physician coming in on a bicycle to the ranch where her father worked, where her family lived, and saw him treating patients there at the ranch, and his charismatic style just inspired her to become a doctor, even though she had no role models of Chinese women doctors in the United States. But she did persevere. She had paper routes and sold subscriptions to newspapers and won speech contests so that she could work her way and raise enough money to go to medical school. And she did enter medical school. She entered USC Medical School. Tragedy struck, though. 2 years before she graduated, her mother passed away from tuberculosis, and so she had to, as well as study for classes, she supported her family of 11 also. So very much a hardship in her life, but she did graduate from USC Medical School, but that was not the end of her struggles to become a doctor. Actually, when she graduated, no hospital would accept her as an intern for her residency. Tragedy struck again for her. Unfortunately, her father bled to death after being hit by a streetcar. So she came back to Los Angeles, and she was accepted as a resident in a hospital as a surgeon, and she also started her private practice. During that time, she became a physician for movie stars, and she took out the tonsils of Mary Pickford and was a physician for Sophie Tucker and also Helen Hayes. So she became fairly prominent in the Hollywood community. Just another pivotal moment in her career, she was asked to treat, examine, give medical care for 7 reserve Navy pilots. This was the build-up to World War II. And after she did that, examined these pilots, she cooked for them in her home. And this was the beginning of her long relationship with the Navy pilots that would come through San Francisco on their way to the overseas theater. She would give gifts to these pilots and serve dinner and host parties at her home for them. And these pilots really appreciated her hospitality, and they began to call themselves her adopted sons. And they gave themselves the name Mom Chung's fair-haired bastards, because Dr. Chung was not married at the time. So she actually hosted and gave dinners to thousands of service people in the Navy. She was instrumental in developing and supporting service people in the Navy, and because of that she became well known, and she was asked to recruit pilots for a special force called the Flying Tigers to enter China. Also, she was instrumental in introducing legislation to have a women's auxiliary force or support group called the Waves for the Navy. So she had many accomplishments for the Navy and for the government at that time. So really, she was really a Chinese cross between Florence Nightingale and Bob Hope in World War II in San Francisco. But she really never received the recognition that she deserved, I believe, for her work, becoming the first Chinese female woman physician in the United States, and also her work supporting the service people in the Navy during World War II. This is why I want to create this documentary, and I hope you'll join me in funding this project. Thank you very much.